Managing payroll across multiple jurisdictions can feel like navigating a maze. You have different systems, varying data requirements, and this constant risk of potentially having errors in relation to your payroll processing and tax reporting. But with the right strategies in place, you can streamline operations and ensure compliance no matter where your employees are located. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you solutions to three global challenges that every admin has faced at some point in their career. But before going forward, I do just want to give a quick shout out to Cooper Teal, Mark Miller, and David Johnson. These three were presenters for the NASPP webinar, Global Payroll, Taxation, and Reporting Challenges, which is actually where I sourced the information that I'm going to be discussing today in this video. But as many of you know, these videos are just the tip of the iceberg. For those of you that do deal heavily with global payroll, I highly encourage you to check out this website. The information gathered there is going to be well worth your time. But without further ado, let's get right into the lesson. So the first challenge that we're going to be discussing is in relation to the complexity of payroll systems across multiple jurisdictions. This is particularly challenging due to the use of different systems and their varying data requirements that may be applicable to the different jurisdictions that your employees might be working out of. This complexity can often lead to inconsistencies and potential errors in payroll processing and tax reporting. But a way that companies can solve this are listed here below. So the first is system integration and automation. So how this helps with inconsistent data input requirements is if it's possible for you to implement tools that help consolidate data from various systems into a unified format, this can reduce a lot of the manual effort and help ensure more accurate data, or at least help protect you from any possible discrepancies that may have occurred through manual efforts. The next area we're going to talk about is standardized processes. So establishing consistent protocols for data entry, processing, and reporting across all systems is going to be crucial to minimizing discrepancies. We're all human, we all make mistakes, but having processes that we can rely on time in and time out are going to help minimize any potential errors that may occur. And then lastly, and this is something that's always important in our field of stock plan administration, regular communication. So maintaining frequent coordination between payroll, tax, and stock administration teams are going to help ensure alignment on data requirements and any potential deadlines. So now with that being said, we're going to move on to our second challenge. So the second challenge that we're going to be discussing is going to be in relation to mobility and tax compliance. So ensuring tax compliance for mobile employees is increasingly complicated, especially when you have employees who might be moving between different states or even different countries. And tracking where employees live and work and travel can lead to a lot of challenges in accurate tax withholding and reporting. And when you add in the varying regulations that are out there, it does add an extra layer of difficulty. But in order for companies to tackle these problems, what they can do is first set up accurate tracking systems. Setting up any tools to help monitor employee mobility in real time is going to help ensure proper tax compliance across any jurisdiction they might be traveling through. The next is collaborating with tax experts. Now, anyone that does work with international jurisdictions, I'm sure is well aware of this, but I'm just going to be doubling down on it for this video, which is the reason why collaborating with tax experts are important is because you want to work closely with people that most commonly deal with these complex tax laws within the jurisdiction that you're discussing. And working closely with these advisors is just going to make sure that everyone is aligned and that nothing is catching you by surprise. And the last one we have listed here is audit preparedness. So I think it's always a great rule of thumb in any process you might have, but regularly reviewing processes to ensure that you are ready for an audit, especially in relation to high-risk areas like mobility and remote work, are only going to leave you in a better position overall for the long run. It's always great to be prepared for audits. It's always great to be doing your own regular reviews. And we're just doubling down on that even further here in this video. For our third challenge, we'll be discussing is differences in tax withholding practices throughout the globe. So global tax withholding practices can vary significantly, and things I believe are moving even faster than we've seen in times past. And this creates challenges in ensuring accurate and consistent tax reporting. Differences in local regulations, tax rates, and withholding methods can often lead to discrepancies that can impact compliance. But again, we're always here to offer solutions, not just address the problems. And the solutions that we're going to be presenting you today are, first off, the maximum tax rate strategy, which is something most companies already do employ. But using the maximum applicable tax rate in non-US locations is going to help prevent any underwithholding and reduce the risk of penalties. This approach will help ensure that taxes are sufficiently covered up front. And I think we all know it's easier to give money back than it is to get more money in. So doing the maximum tax rate strategy is a great way to help make your life a lot easier. And the next one is going to be, again, frequent coordination, communication, always an important thing. But maintaining regular communication between your stock administration teams, your payroll teams, are going to be important to align on withholding practices. This coordination is going to ensure that tax calculations are consistent and any potential issues are addressed promptly. And then lastly, we have the reconciliation process. Issues and discrepancies are going to happen, but implementing robust reconciliation processes are going to help verify payroll accurately to help reflect any tax withholding calculations to make sure the stock administration system does have what it needs. And regular reconciliation is going to help identify and correct any discrepancies early, ensuring that these problems don't build up so much in the background that they become a bigger issue later on. So having a reconciliation process and doing more frequent audits like we discussed in the previous challenge are going to be important to help ensure that you are prepared whenever things do tend to go wrong. And as we all know from Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So it's just always important to be preemptive about this. And all right, that is the video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give us a like. And we do hope to see you in the next one. And I always like to add a little thing at the end to see who's watching towards the end of these videos. So just type in global if you did get a chance to finish this entire little webinar that we put together at the NASVP. Again, everyone, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.